Tim Duncan was cold, but it's like, yeah, he cold. He was cold. Like when you talk about the Kareems and the Jordans and certain players, you talk
Some
about
of that's
how.
personalities too, though.
Well, I would say you're talking about revolutionizing the game. Like Tim Duncan, if you say he revolutionized the game, you'll be like by being just solid fundamentally. You know what I'm saying? Like you talking about Kareem, you talking about the sky hook, talking about Jordan, you talking about the aerial assault. You're talking about Reggie Miller or Ray Allen, talking about the 3-point ball and being deadly with it. You're talking about Allen Iverson, you're talking about, they revolutionized the game in one way. But Duncan just was fundamental, man. So it's like he's a great player. He's this example of a great player and a great system, bro. He was a great fundamental player with a great fundamental coach. And that's made everything work. All his players around him was fundamentally sound, man. Manu, Parker.
So let me ask you this. So when you bring up Mike, when you talk about people that changed the game,
Mhm.
let me ask you this. What did Mike do that wasn't already done?
Mike, Mike was more
Because if we
intense,
talk about aerial assault, Dr. J did that first, didn't he?
but he wasn't like Mike though. And what I'm saying, Dr.
Mm.
J
All
and
right,
Dr.
so
J
I
and
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Dr.
My bad.
J and Dr. Duncanstein, David Thompson, they were.
Dominique Wilkins.
Well, that's Jordan time. I'm talking about Dr.
Yeah.
J and Dave Thompson. Them two were the high flyers. Maybe Larry Nance. You know what I'm saying, senior.
Mm.
But they was aerial assaulters. But they Jordan and Dominique them, they brought this with the you know what I'm saying, with the flair. You know what I'm saying. They was just up chopping up high old people. You might get a reverse sometimes, but you ain't. I'm talking about Jordan's coming through. You seen it. You know what I'm
Because
saying.
I ain't gonna lie, I think Dr. J actually brought the flashiness to the game. When we actually looked at Dr. J,
Dr.
I
J,
think because Mike got a lot of his shit from Dr. J, which he admitted that.
yeah, but Mike
You know
was
what I'm saying?
Mike was different beast, man.
You know what it was? Mike did in the 80s what AI did in the 2000s, bro. And when I say that, he brought like a certain swagger to the NBA. You know what I'm talking about? Mike out there hooping, and some of them was already doing it. Like Iceman George Gervin out there with the choker chain, doing the finger roll. Jordan out
Right.
here with the choker chain, dunking with his tongue out. He
Mhm.
just brought a different flair to it with that marketing employ that Nike had as a new company trying to put themselves on the map. Like that's really what, you know what I'm talking about, what made Jordan pop in that flash era. And then him and Dominique going back and forth, and a lot of people seeing this. Like I don't know too many people who just was seeing Dr. J once just like little
but
media
in
shit
the
popped.
80s,
Yeah.
83, 84. I mean, yeah, he was. I mean, that would be a hard thing to kind of
But
quantify because we wouldn't allow that. We don't know what T was
but
like.
let me bring some light to why I say people seen it. A lot of shit happened in the 90s, like you said. One thing that happened between the 90s and the 2000s was like a technology boom, bro. We went from
Hey,
some
that's a
simplistic
fact.
shit in the
That's a
80s,
fact.
and once
That's
you
a
hit
fact.
90s, like technology had this run, like they found some alien shit and start reverse engineering it, and we got a bunch of technology in a small amount of time. And I think that also aided to these players being more accessible through technology. How you can see them, take it in, things like that.
That's a fact. So basically, it boils down to marketing.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Because when I heard somebody say, "Hey, look, Jordan basically the greatest because he like the first marketable and the most marketable," and till this day, honestly, Michael Jordan probably still one of the most marketable basketball players, and he's been retired for a long time. You know
But
what I'm saying? So,
but
mhm,
it all comes from his work. You know what I'm saying? Because there's
right,
other
right.
players like you're right. It is marketing, but like to put him on the pedestal because of marketing, that was a byproduct of how hard he played and how hard he worked. Like
yeah,
there are
no,
players who were
Right.
better, Like there were Dominiques out there. There are people who did what he did to an extent. Like Dominique was the last guy to lead the league in scoring before Jordan, and they was going back and forth. They had similar games as far as what they did on the court, but that Jordan was a different beast, man. He was